Hey guys, welcome to another World of Warships Ship Spotlight, brought to you by thematani.com. As always, I'm your host, Zettia. Today we're going to continue along the Japanese line and take a look at the Fuso. We're going to give you some insight behind the history of the ship, as well as give you some tips and tricks when using it in game. The Fuso was commissioned in 1915, and her history was quite interesting. The Fuso played absolutely no role in World War I, and going into the interwar period, she saw many modernizations. Her superstructure was enlarged, aircraft launching systems were added, and most important, her anti-air armament was improved. Going into World War II, the Fuso is one of Japan's oldest active battleships. It was thought that her 14-inch guns were not good enough to get the job done. In many cases, she acted as a distant support for carriers and more modern battleship divisions. After the Battle of Midway, Japan had to come up with an answer for the number of carriers lost. The Fuso and her sister ship were looked at for carrier hybrid conversions, but the Issei class was chosen instead. Although the Fuso had not yet seen much action, she would eventually take part in what is known to be the last battle in which battleships would trade fire. In the Battle of Surigao Strait, one of three battles that made up Leyte Gulf, the U.S. battleships, many of which were damaged in Pearl Harbor, would come face to face with Japanese battleships. The Japanese task force steamed towards the perfectly positioned U.S. fleet. The Fuso, listing due to damage from an air attack the night before, takes a torpedo from a U.S. destroyer. Now, from this point on, events are sketchy, but it is said that the ship split in two, both parts sat burning before sinking to the bottom almost an hour later. Alright, now let's take a little bit of a look at the gameplay. The Fuso is a great ship, and I really have not been disappointed by any battleship within the Japanese line so far. Like any other ship in the game, the Fuso has its growing pains. It's a little bit rough coming out of the Kongo and getting into that first hull. My recommendation is to go for that propulsion upgrade. It's not a whole lot of points and it is definitely worth it. The Fuso, like the Kongo, has great range and is quite maneuverable. You do give up a little bit of speed for 2 extra turrets, but it is well worth it. She has 6 turrets with 2 356mm cannons each, and once you get completely upgraded, you'll be able to strike at over 20 kilometers. She can pack a punch, but the sheer number of turrets can cause a problem: inaccuracy. There is a way to solve this problem. The Fuso has an upgrade available to it, the Gun Fire Control Mod 1. I recommend that you use this mod. It will improve your grouping of the shells, especially when it comes to shooting long-range targets. To wrap things up, the Fuso has really been a great ship, and when I'm being indecisive, it's pretty much a go-to. As I said before, the Japanese battleships have not disappointed me, and I look forward to making my way up the tech tree. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of Ship Spotlight. If you had not done so yet, check out some of the other Ship Spotlights we have up. Also, remember, for the latest in gaming, news, articles, and entertainment, click the link below and check out thematani.com. Thanks again, enjoy the grind, and have a great day.